Do you know that the human brain has 100 billion neurons and each neuron is connected to 10,000 other neurons? The human brain is considered as the most complicated object in the known universe, and it is sitting right on your shoulders, and you, my friend, have full access to it. Now, some of you will say that we only use 2% of our brain power, and the answer is no, this is a myth which is already broken. Do you know that for watching this video, even right now, you are using 70% or more of your brain power to understand what I am saying and to look at the objects and the things which are moving on the screen. So now you have just realized that you have one of the most wonderful objects in this known universe. And the human brain has many functions, and one of its main function, and we can call it the most important one, is learning. The human brain constantly learns. The neurons in the brain are making billions of new connections whenever you are learning something new. Even at this moment, they are making billions of new connections as you are learning about learning. So now you know that you are equipped with the best tool you can get in this known universe for learning, and you have full control over it. Now a question arises, then why? Why most people have difficulties in learning some things? And why learning some stuff is very difficult? For example, 80% of my friends have difficulties in learning a subject which they consider as a nightmare, and that is math. So what's exactly happening? There are multiple different parameters which defines that you will learn this stuff or not. So let's take a look at all these different parameters, and from these different parameters you are gonna learn how to learn anything. Parameter number 1. Necessity is the mother of learning. We all know that necessity is the mother of invention, but learning stuff is also closely related to the importance of that stuff in your life you are going to learn. Let me clear this with an example. After our birth, to communicate with other human beings, we learned our language, the mother tongue, and other languages we needed to survive. We never made excuses. We never said that, oh, it's so difficult, I do not want to learn it, etc. etc. That time, our brain gave us full support to learn the language stuff we needed to survive. But now, if I tell to myself that I want to learn French language, even if I try too much, I will leave learning it after some days, because in India I only need English and Hindi to survive. So to learn French language, I need a really big reason behind it. Like if I go to France to live there, and let us say that nobody speaks English there, then it will only take maximum a month or 20 days for me to learn that language, because then that would be my necessity. So the first step for learning anything is to have a good reason behind it. So whenever you are going to learn something, ask yourself that why I am learning this thing? What is the importance of this thing in my life? And if that thing will be worth it, you will learn it at any cost. And at that time your brain will also give you full support. And this is also one of the reasons that my friends are hating math, because they do not find it necessary. So saying that math is difficult is just an excuse to run from the mental effort of learning math. But one day, there is a day in a year before exam, something changes, and they sit down and at least try to learn that thing from which they were running all the time, because now math became their necessity. If they do not learn it, they will fail the exam. So they spend their all day and night learning it. And one thing I want to tell you, that the most complicated learning tool also cannot save them one day before the exam. So always start early, because Rome was not built in a day. So this is another thing, but you got my point right. We tend to learn those things easily which are necessary to us. The more important the thing is, the easily we learn it. So now let's move on to our second parameter, which is our basic nature and our interests. Einstein said, if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will live its whole life believing that it is stupid. This is really true. Think if the fish tries to learn how to climb a tree and searches whole YouTube and other internet stuff, goes through all the videos on how to learn stuff, etc., how to climb a tree, practice all day, watch motivational video, and even worse, what if the fish thinks that climbing the tree is success? If it climbed that tree, then it is successful, and if it does not climb that tree, it is a failure. Even if it try its best, do you think that the fish will ever be able to climb the tree like a monkey does? And yes, it would not. It will think its whole life that it is unsuccessful and will remain frustrated its whole life and waste its whole life and not knowing its basic nature, which is swimming. So find out what is your basic nature. What is that thing for which you are made for? What is the thing you love to do? There is a saying that there are two most important days in your life. The first one is the day on which you are born, and the second one is the day on which you find out why. So ask yourself, what is the reason for my existence? Find out your basic nature. And to do that, there is a question I want to ask you. Get ready for it, clear your mind and other distractions, because when I will ask you the question, the first thing which will click in your mind will be the thing for which you are made for. So if you can open your mind right now, this day can become the second most important day in your life. So the question is, listen carefully, that if money was not a concern, what would you be doing right now? If there was no money barrier in your life, no studying for getting a safe job, what would you be doing right now? What is that constructive thing you be doing right now? So whatever clicked in your mind is your basic nature. So go down in the comments and tell me what clicked in your mind. I read and reply every comment I get, because that's the only way to interact with you guys, and I love to interact with you guys. So go down in the comments and write your basic nature. So if you succeeded, congratulations. This is your basic nature and this is what you are made for. Let me share my experience to you. When I heard this question, the first thing which clicked in my mind was making people learn something new, solving their life problems and making them laugh. So my basic nature I got was helping others with all the knowledge I have. That's why I opened this channel, to help you guys with learning. So to learn anything, you first have to know what you have to learn. Am I choosing something for which I am not made for? For example, this could also be possible that those friends who tells me that math is difficult, they could have different basic natures. For example, a nature of a sportsman, a singer, a artist, etc. This could be possible that they do not know their basic nature and they are the fish and they are trying to climb a tree and will fail and tell that math is difficult. So you have to find your basic nature. Now let us say that you have a good reason for learning something, and that also connects with your basic nature. After this, there are some questions which are unanswered. Like, is there any step-by-step fastest way with which you can learn that thing the fastest you can? Is there any technique for that? And a question like this, like, for doing what you love, you also have to learn those stuff too which you do not love. For example, I like to study math and physics, but in the university I also have to do some unnecessary things like making files and doing irrelevant stuff that I do not love. But doing that stuff is my necessity to keep going in the university. So I have to do that non-interesting stuff. But is there any way with which I can feel happy doing that stuff too? Can I generate my interest on those uninteresting things with the same focus? Now, let us find the answers to these questions. I am also constantly learning about this topic, but to make part 2 of this video, which will answer all these unanswered questions, we have to discuss together. So what do you think? Every problem have a solution, so let us find it together. So go down in the comments box below and write what you think. I will surely reply and other people also reply to each other, and when I will get enough response from you guys and a really good solution to this problem, I will make a part 2 of this video which will answer all those unanswered questions. And also the best comments will be shown in that video, so hit me with your best shot. And at last, thanks for watching this video, and always remember that math is everything.